In today's class, we will cover method references. Sometimes you may have method already available with same logic which you want to write in the lambda expression. Sometimes you may have methods already available that you want to write in the lambda expression. So there is a method available with some logic, with exactly same logic that we wanted to write in the lambda expression. You can use existing method instead of duplicating the code again. Method reference is a special type of lambda expression. Method reference are a special type of lambda expression to create simple lambda expression by referencing existing method. Static method reference. There are three types of method references: static method reference, instance method reference, constructor reference. So for constructor reference, for method reference, we have new operator called as method reference operator to write the method references. Let me show you the next page. Static method reference. These are the syntaxes. Allow to access existing static method, allows to access instance or non-static method, instance method or non-static method, allow to access the constructor to create the object. The static method references. To understand the method references, let's do the code. Just keep in your mind that method references are the special lambda expression that is used to write the lambda expression by using the existing method references. So what we have read is, let's delete all this. Let's make a simple method. So method reference is a lambda expression, a special lambda expression. Means method reference is also lambda expression, and when we are going to work with lambda expression, we are going to need functional interface. So functional interface is also going to be needed when we want to work with method references. So here is the functional interface with single abstract method. Single abstract method. There is nothing to be written right here. This is the simple lambda expression code that we done in previous video. Also in previous video of that previous video, we have seen every possible cases of lambda expression. Now now we got method references. So method reference is a special type of lambda expression to create the lambda expression without writing the code again, just by taking the reference of any existing method. Means what we are saying, method reference are a special type of lambda expression which is used to create lambda expression by referencing existing method. Here we are creating lambda expression. Here you can see this line is creating a lambda expression, and we are storing that lambda expression in the reference variable of type functional interface. This line is creating lambda expression. So method reference is used to create the lambda expression by using existing method. What it means is, suppose we have a class called A, in which we have a method called anything, method ABC, that takes body Look what we are doing here. In lambda expression, we are writing parentheses with parameter for this single abstract method using this logo, opening the bracket, closing the bracket, and providing the body in the middle. Exactly same thing is happening right here. The method return type is same in some class. Suppose there is a class, any class, existing class with any name available, in which there is any method which is having implementation which matches with the logic, which matches with the return type of object, with the return type of method inside the functional interface method, single abstract method, and the method in any class is having same return type, same parameters, that is of the single abstract method is having same return type, same parameter, and the method that is available in any class is also having implementation already provided. So when we are writing our lambda expression, this line is lambda expression. This class is not meant for us right now, but this class is available anywhere in our project or provided by, let's say, by Java people, or we are working as an employee in any company. In that company, there is several employees that have provided implementation of lot of methods. So we can use that method again. So there is a class in which there is a method which is having same return type, same parameters in comparison to the return type on the parameters of single abstract method of functional interface. And this method of that class is having the logic exactly same that we want to provide the logic for the single abstract method of functional interface as in lambda expression. So method reference are a special type of lambda expression. We use method reference to create simple lambda expression by referencing existing method. So what we will do, let's say this method is static. What we will do, method reference is used to create lambda expression. We want to create lambda expression for this single abstract method. In lambda expression, we want to provide the logic, provide the implementation, but we have a class that is having the same kind of method, which is already having some logic, and that is matching with our logic. The logic that we want to provide, we are seeing that exactly same logic are available in some methods. So why not we use this existing method? So we are going to use this existing method to create lambda expression. What method reference do? Method reference uses the existing method to create the lambda expression. What we are going to do? We are going to use the existing method with certain logics to create the lambda expression. So instead of writing this, what we are going to do? We are going to write method reference. So in method reference, here we have two type of method reference. If a class which is having method with implementation and that method is static. If a class having a method that is matching with our logic that we want to implement for lambda expression and that method is of type static, then we are going to use static method reference. How? This is the syntax. What we are going to do with the class name is A. We are going to use this special method reference logo, method reference symbol, method reference delimiter, and we are going to call this method ABC, and we are going to save this method exactly. But this is the method reference. Listen very carefully. This is the method reference that what this method reference is being used with the method reference. We use method reference to create lambda expression. So here is the method reference. It means that lambda expression is being created. This is the lambda expression. When we use method reference, this lambda expression is being created. These logics, we don't have to write these logics. We have used this static method reference and we get this logic. We get this logic from this method of certain class. So now lambda expression is created. We have to store it in the corresponding functional interface. So just store it. Hello world. Here you can see this is the lambda method reference. Method reference is the lambda expression. Method reference is used to create lambda expression not by writing the codes by ourselves. Method reference is used to create lambda expression by using the existing method reference. Point 1, method reference is a special type of lambda expression. Point 2, method reference is used to create the lambda expression. Point 3, method reference is used to create the lambda expression not by writing the codes by ourselves. Method reference is used to write the code by using the existing method reference. So these are the 3 points. So if we are going to use heq dot show and pass 87 and pass menon, you can see, don't run the method reference. We are not running the lambda expression one. We are only using the method reference one. So here you can see our code is running fine. Exactly same thing is happening that is going to happen in the case of lambda expression. Method reference is the special type of lambda expression. This is point 1. Point 2, we use method reference to create the lambda expression. Point 3, we are going to use method reference to create lambda expression, but by not writing this whole line of lambda expression, we are going to use lambda expression to write the lambda expression. We are going to use method reference to write the lambda expression by existing method reference. I think you got the idea. exactly same thing will be happen. If it is a return type, we are going to catch the return. We are going to pass the return in here. Everything is going to be same. Let's go to our notes. Let me say it again. Must go through notes. This note is going to be only well enough. This note is going to be only important thing for you, only needed thing for you in order to learn the Java 8 features. This note is going to be sufficient for that. So we got, as we see, we got three type of method references: static method references. Second one is instant method references. Suppose the class from which we are taking the method implementation, and this method is not static. This method is instance. So here what we are going to do as method reference, we cannot access this method by using class name. So what we have to do in order to that, we have to create that class object, and with this object we have to call, you can see here, see it clearly, we created this class object, this class instance. With this class object we are calling this class method, and by this method lambda expression being made, and we store the lambda expression in corresponding functional interface variable, reference variable, and calling the method SAM single abstract method with this reference variable. So this is instance method. Instance method, instance reference method, method reference. If that class method is static, then that is going to called as static method reference. If that class method is going to be any class from which we want to take the implementation, if that class method is going to be instant or non-static, then that is going to be, then the method reference that we are going to use is going to be called as instant method references. How we are going to use instance method reference? We are going to create first class instance, and with that class instance we are going to call that method. Third one is constructor reference. So this is the method reference. Constructor, static method reference syntax, instance method reference syntax. Example, constructor method reference syntax and examples. Allow to access, what static method reference allows to access existing method of any class, allows to access existing instance method of any class in case of instance method reference. In case of constructor method reference, it allows to access constructor of any class to create the object. Let me show you example for constructor method reference. For constructor method reference, let's delete everything. We have public abstract method. We have public abstract method. So in here, it is not necessary that it is going to be primitive. Return type of this method is going to be primitive, or any inbuilt type primitive return type, any inbuilt return type primitive, wrappers, or collection type return types. The return type can be of user defined return type, suppose customer. So what will happen in this case? For that we are going to need the customer class. Let me show you example of customer reference In this we have two members property, suppose customer PID, customer ID and customer string name of the customer. Let's provide constructor and getter and setter here real quick. So here is we have functional interface of having one single abstract method. Now we want to make lambda expression for this interface. For that, if we are going to go through normal Java coding, then we are going to create a class. Let's say class A, which is going to implement hello interface. Inside hello interface, we are going to override this method. It is saying to override the unimplemented method. So here we are overriding unimplemented method. We are providing body, open braces, closing the braces, and in between providing the body. This method is returning customer. So we have to create the customer object. Customer. What's wrong? Okay, this class name is customer. Now this is right. Constructor also, everything is good. This method that we want to override in our class, that is coming, this method is coming from the interface, functional interface, is returning the customer. So we are creating customer object. That will be fine. Whatever we are going to pass at the time of calling this method will be get inserted into the customers, and then we have to return this customer type instance. Now in some class, let's say print class, in main method we are going to create object of a class with that object. We are going to call that show method, in which we are going to pass something as argument. To CID of customer is going to be 101. Name of the customer is Rahul. This method is passing the customer type instance. Now what we can do, we can check. So we don't have to do anything. If we are going to run, then customer, these data are going to get inserted in this customer properties. To show this, let's run this one. Nothing is going to get printed. To show output, get the output, we can see, we can use cus.get PID. Let's run this now. So here is the code. Here is our code. It is running fine. So we want to see the constructor reference. In normal Java coding, we have to do all these things to provide the implementation for this single abstract method of functional interface. Now let's do it with the help of constructor reference. So we have parent class, main method. So in case of constructor reference, we are going to use the class name and new class name and new operator, create the object for that class. So class name, we want to create the object of customer, method reference delimiter symbol, method reference symbol. Now our lambda expression or constructor reference is being created. Let it save in, customer. Not in customer. We have to save this by this line. Lambda expression is getting created by this method reference. Lambda expression is getting created with the existing constructor of this class. What happens with method references? Lambda expression get created not by writing the lambda expression. Lambda expression get created by the reference of existing method. But in case of we are going with constructor reference, so by this method reference, constructor will get returned. Method lambda expression get created for this functional interface, in which we are going to have instance of this customer class. If you do cust dot show one, as you can see, we can call with this reference variable show one. Whatever we are going to pass here is going to get inserted inside the members of customer class. Karina. Now this method is going to return the customer type instance. So customer dot, let's say C. If we are going to print this C dot, suppose get name, then you can see that Karina is going to get inserted. Karina get inserted. So this is instance method reference, constructor method reference. There is the same example that we have done right now. You can do it by yourself. These are the practice codes given in the PDF. Must go with these codes. Basically, this is the same. This is method instance method reference practice set. This is constructor method reference practice set. What else we have? Here is some more examples. You can go by these by yourself. Now what we have, let me show you. Here is some more examples that you can cover by yourself. I can see here is an example in PDF that is using stream, but we didn't have gone through stream API of Java yet. So we will see this example when we will have been covered the stream API of Java yet. This example also is from stream. We will go through after we have seen the stream API. This is also stream API example. Functional interface. So what we are going to do, we will cover the functional interface in our next video. So stay tuned.